Good afternoon. My name is Marquita, and today my client name is Miracle.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. So, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain. So, how have life been? How have things been for you?
Things have been kind of hectic because of the fact that I'm currently kind of going through a little bit of financial hardship because I may or may not have a spending addiction. Um,
Okay.
so that's what brought me in today.
Okay. We can definitely discuss that and figure out some methods to help decrease that spending problem. Tell me a little bit more about when you realized you had your spending problem.
When I maxed out 3 or 4 credit cards, maybe. Um, And when I wasn't able to pay all of my bills, so I had to like loan money from my parents or from my friends so that way I
Mhm.
could pay off my other bills. That's when I kind of started to realize like I'm spending too much.
Okay. And tell me a little bit of background on, well, first, do you feel when you're spending, do you get a thrill? Is there a sort of an emotion that comes when you're spending or excessively spending?
I think yes, joy. I get joy when I spend money just because it's always just like I always kind of tell myself that I'm getting myself something or I deserve it. So
Okay,
that's why I end up just kind of feeling real prideful about my buy when I'm done shopping.
got it. And when does the feeling of disappointment occur? Like when
When
you
I
look
run
at your
out of money and I can't spend anymore, that's when I get disappointed.
Okay. So let's dig a little deeper and dive into a little bit of background. As a child, did you witness either of your parents who had spending problems or problems with excessive spending?
I think my family, we've always just kind of like shopped, and our emotions are tied to shopping. Like, so if there was sadness or if it was a celebration or anything like that, we would just, go shopping, we would spend money. Even if it wasn't shopping, like we would go eat really extravagantly or do something that became expensive.
Okay. And do you feel like at any moment did it get excessive or did it cause like any issues within your parents or within your home?
Most definitely, I think that the spending definitely caused issues with my parents' marriage, just because they were both liking to spend a lot.
Mhm.
So money would dwindle down fast. And like my mom bought different stuff than my dad. So they both tried to act like neither one of these things are important and that they were
Mhm.
the problem. But in reality, we were all spending. We were all
Mhm.
spending.
Got it, got it, got it. So tell me a little bit about when you felt the very first time you got a thrill or an excitement, um, a moment of excitement when you purchased anything or bought something that you felt
Um,
you needed.
I would say it goes back early for me. My earliest recollection, I think, I would be probably like 4 or 5. My grandfather would give us like allowance, like, a couple of dollars every week. And he would tell us to like save up our money and to not spend it all in one place. But then we would go to the dollar store. And then I realized like I could get a lot of stuff, when we were kids, you get a lot more with $1 than you can now. But
Right.
when I was a kid, I would always go to the store like and we get candy or I would save up. my money and I would go buy something like really nice, like $5 or $6 at the dollar store when I was a kid. And I would always get really, really excited because I felt grown. So I would say around five or 4 or 5 around that area.
Okay. Okay. And do you recall any other moments of like as you grew older and um why or well yeah, could you tell me another example of like when you got older from four,
Um, well, I
like a
think
most recent moment?
a recent moment.
Yes.
Okay. A recent moment, now that I'm an adult, of course, things have elevated from candy and toys. Um, so I like to spend money on food or like vacations.
Hmm.
So I might put myself in a situation financially just to have the vacation that I want. So one of my credit cards is maxed out because of this vacation that technically I shouldn't have went to, but I have great memories now. So it's not something I can regret, but it's one of those splurging moments.
Okay. So now we will first, would you give me a reason on why you are devoted into spending less or sticking to a budget? Like, do you have some goals that you want to accomplish, or are you wanting to just better spend so that you can be within your budget? Like, what is?
Um, I think that if I want to be like successful in like relationships, families, things of that nature, I have to get this spending problem like under control because my future husband is probably not going to be okay with the amount of Amazon shipments that come to the house. Um, or like I said, like with the family dynamic, once I have children and things of that nature, like there's other things that are important. And right now I'm currently just spending because I guess maybe if you will, I don't really have like the husband, the kids. So I'm not really spending money or prioritizing money on that. And that's probably the reason as to why I'm so frugal. But I want to start learning how to save more. So that way, when I do get married, when I do have children, it's not going to be like a culture shock and I'm
Yeah.
going to feel broke because I don't have any money to spend on myself because it's going to the baby, to the husband. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's my main reason.
Okay. So now we're going to do a little technique, which is known as the act if technique. So what you would do is basically um, putting yourself in a new behavior and a new mindset that would allow you to feel confident in making a change. So you'll do techniques that will allow you to spend less money. So what are some techniques that you feel you can adapt to your daily life that will help you with your excessive spending?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, Maybe having like a daily limit, um, or a weekly limit. I think daily's too much. Okay, daily's too much. But weekly, I think a weekly limit on kind of like an allowance
Mm-hmm.
on how much money I can spend per week towards like packages and
Mm-hmm.
extra food that's not in the house already. Just the things that I normally would splurge on if I would have a like maybe a downsized budget. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So that's one technique. What is some other techniques you can adapt?
Um, maybe close some credit card accounts.
Okay.
Um, ooh, that's a tough thing. Okay, let's see. Maybe okay, yeah, close some credit card accounts. the weekly budget. Um, Now I don't know about cold turkey. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm not there yet, but I don't know. That's all I have. I just got those two. Closing the credit cards, or at least like maybe two or the two, three, since I have so many.
Right.
Um, the weekly budget, maybe prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, prioritizing. So, um, like outside of groceries and electricity and rent and things of that nature, try to limit spending, period. Maybe take Amazon off the phone. Oh, that's going to hurt my heart.
Right.
Ooh, step at a time, a step at a time. That's what we can do.
Right. Right. Okay. Those are great. I feel like if you adapt those techniques, it will be great. You did mention credit cards. That's a good, maybe carrying one card at a time or at a certain time, so that you won't excessively spend on two or three cards. And hey, I think the most important thing is realizing it and adapting methods that will help you overcome your excessive spending. Also, budget your weekly budgets. They do have budget spending plans that you can adapt and download and write out your budget for the week and stick to that. So I look forward to listening next session to see how your spending is going. Just know that you can do it. It can be done, and just stick to your two techniques with confidence. Um, did you have any additional things that you wanted to discuss besides your spending?
Well, one, I thank you for encouraging me, um, and let me know that I can do it. I just have to be headstrong and confident on this budget. Um, no, I don't really have any questions. I'm just gonna have to be, I guess, really strict on myself and really put parameters in place. Um, so yeah, thank you.
Yes. And so we will follow up on our next session, maybe search for new possibilities on how you can save within the week, um, and adapt different habits, rather than fulfilling the excitement of buying something new, finding another excitement or something else that you can do that'll bring you excitement. And I look forward to meeting with you next week.
Alrighty, see you next week.
Thank you. You have a great one.
You as well. Okay, so now we're gonna do a transition, and um, so alrighty. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miracle Liddell. I am going to be the counselor, giving the existential counseling approach, and my client is Miss Marquita Richardson. So, Marquita, what brings you in today?
Yes. Today I am struggling with finding my purpose um, in life, like what I should be doing, what I need to be doing in the direction that um, just having anxiety or different emotions, making sure that I'm going in the right direction in the stage I am in life. So yeah, just basically finding purpose and making sure that I am on the right path.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so I heard a couple of things that stood out to me there. Definitely finding direction or being on the right path, right? So, what does that look like to you? Going in the right direction or being on the right path? What does that look like?
I'm just living a life of fulfillment where I'm not just doing it just to do it. I'm finding thrill behind it. I wake up every day wanting to do what I love to do. I feel like sometimes in life we kind of get in the ropes of just living without purpose. working a 9 to 5 or just making sure our bills are paid, but I want to live beyond those measures and just making sure that with my faith in God, that I am living within what I'm supposed to be on earth to do and fulfilling that.
Okay. So what do you feel is your purpose or your God-given talent that you are to give back to the world?
Typically when I was younger, I felt I had a passion to teach children. But as I got older, I feel as if my passion should be towards women in some sort, like leadership or just encouraging them to like love ourselves and like self-compassion and self-love in a way, dealing with women who has been neglected and abused. Um, I feel like that's my purpose, but again, I'm not too sure.
Okay. So is there some correlation there between why we're transitioning from children to wanting to do leadership advocate roles for women? Is there a correlation because of you see some identity of you in there?
Mm-hmm. Um, yes, and for most of the reason is because you see so many outreaches and resources available for children
Mhm.
that, and not so many that is available to women. And when I say women, I'll begin like the ages of 18 to 29, in that kind of in that era where you're trying to find yourself and you're trying to be an adult, but then you also have childhood trauma and you're trying to heal from, but then trying to figure out life. So yeah, and I do think it do have a lot to do with when I was that age and feeling like I didn't really know what to do or what way or direction to go. So I feel like that will be a reason that I feel I should be within that era of age and leadership so that I can be the voice and say, well, you're not alone. So,
Right. Well, I think, one, that's beautiful and very honorable for you to want to be an advocate for the marginalized group of women. And that's definitely very important. We do need more advocates for both children and both for women. So that's really honorable and commendable that you say these things. Um, Going back to finding your purpose, finding your meaning. What do you think some of the steps are that you could take in effort to really diving into being in this advocate leadership role?
the first thing that I've adapt is just reading books and like self-help books, leadership books. I've listened to many podcasts and videos on YouTube and like the self-taught videos. But as far as like applying it to my life is where I find the most difficulties.
Okay, and so why is that? Because sometimes it's really easy for us to want to help other people, but it's hard for us to help ourselves. So why
Right.
do you think that your purpose is to be an advocate and lead women, and yet it's hard to apply it to yourself?
Um, Simply because I feel like um we're taught like I guess it's like self-doubt,
Mhm.
where you feeling like you're not able to do, you're not capable of doing, or you don't have the resources to do the things that you want to do. So it kind of discourage you from even starting or moving forward. Because of course I know I won't have all the answers at first, but I'll just want to get started and then be able to figure it out. But I just can't start. That's the issue.
Okay, so let's look at some of the simplest ways for us to start. Let's not make the issue look as big, right? Let's break it down and see that you want to do leadership, we want to do advocacy, we need to do these things for ourselves in order for us to do it for someone else. And so we need to find what a safe start ground looks like for you in doing that for yourself. So what do you think are some ways that you can advocate and lead for yourself for the in between 19 and 29 year age group of Marquita? Like, what does that look like?
Um, I would say by beginning with just speaking positivity, like to myself. I feel like it's easy to speak life into others, but sometimes it can be a little difficult to speak life into yourself. So just being mindful of the things that I say to myself and the things that I think
Mhm.
will be like a great start.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the techniques that I was going to share with you today. It's actually called strength bombardment. I think of it as positive affirmations, where you're just, for me, some people like to say it out loud. Some people like to write it on sticky notes and put it on mirrors or corners of walls or whatever. But that it is very important for you to have your confidence, especially with you being an advocate and a leader and doing this for such a marginalized group in society. So you definitely want to strengthen yourself first, so that way you can really be that vessel that you want to be, that fulfills God's purpose that he gave you, right? So strength of environment is going to be some good things. It's not as cliche as, I'm beautiful, I'm strong. That's good too. But we
Mhm.
want to tailor make it to what you want to do, right? So you are a natural born leader,
Right.
right? You have the testimony and the experience that you need to be able to lead women, right? So you want to say things of that nature to yourself. See, read that. I heard that you say you like to read, and that you think that reading, right, would be a good starting or stepping stone into this new transition and that you want to do for your purpose. So I think that by fulfilling your purpose, a way to start fulfilling your purpose, right, is to start strengthening yourself, bombarding yourself with strengthful or strong statements, so that way you can really build up that confidence, get rid of that self-doubt, right? Not
Right.
have that anxiety surrounding um, your goals and your plans for life, right?
Right.
So, what do you think are some things that you could tell yourself that you wouldn't feel like it's cliche that you really do believe?
Um, that I am capable of doing the things that God set forth for me to do.
Mm.
Um, that I am enough. I know that is something that we all say, but I am enough. I may not have the resources now, but I will get them as time come. Other affirmations will be, I can't really think of any more.
But I like the
It's
ones that
not
you
cliche.
provided. I like the ones that you provide. Definitely, I am enough, right? So that's one that's going to be strong always. And even though it might sound cliche, it's definitely not, right? You are enough. You are going to fulfill God's purpose in whatever fashion and sense that looks like, right? And these are definitely everything that you provided. It sounds very strong. It sounds like, right? Like it'll be a very good starting point on things to say for yourself and to yourself. And these are things that eventually you would be able to tell your women that you end up
Right.
helping, being and leading and advocating for. So that's very good. I like to hear all of those things. I definitely um, want you to create this new meaning, right? So leadership, right, has many different definitions, right? What does leadership
Right.
look like? The definition of Miss Richardson, what does leadership look like?
Um, and it's crazy because I read something earlier. I feel like leadership to some maybe like being in the front or um, being the voice or whatever the case may be. But I think leadership is actually like putting force to emotion, like being able to like move forward towards whatever it may be, you know, because sometimes it don't even involve being at the front of the stage and talking out loud. It's just maybe in like gathering women together where someone is able to speak, but just moving, like putting a move on things that should be getting done is what I feel like I will be, how I will be as a leader or should be.
Okay. So it sounds like you're going to be a very busy woman.
Hopefully.
Okay. Hopefully we love that. So definitely all those things, all those concepts and skills that you just described, this is definitely why we're going to need that confidence, or we're going to need that strength bombardment while we actually over the next few sessions, we're definitely going to keep tapping into your meaning and your purpose and understanding that it changes as we develop, right?
Right.
And so right now, as we are in this season, as you are in this season, right, we're going from the transition of child advocacy to women advocacy and
Mm-hmm.
leadership. And so, you know, in the next 5, 10 years is going to evolve from there. But I think that right now, in the stage that you are in, um, we have some really good stepping stones and some really good starting positions for us to really get those goals and that you want out of life and to help you find a little bit of your meaning and your purpose. So, is there anything else that you want to add to today?
No, that was great. Look forward to starting my affirmations.
Oh, right. So definitely next time we visit, I want to hear more some more of those really great ideas and affirmations that you threw out there. Because, honey, I didn't have any ones that didn't sound too cliche off my head. You had them together. So, great job. And next time we come back, we're going to tap in a little bit more into what you've done since this conversation so that helps you move forward towards your overall goal in leadership and advocacy. So, good job.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. Okay.